Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and I am thrilled to welcome Angela Lewis. Welcome, Angela.
Thanks, Tammy, for having me.
So Angela has a very unique, interesting background that I want to tell you about before we get started. Angie Lewis, she's a former pro basketball player, championship winning coach, and author. She helps current and former top athletes use various media platforms to own their brands and share their experiences. As a result, her clients create multiple streams of revenue, and they stay relevant with their fan base long term. That is just fascinating because I know that pro athletes are a very unique breed of people. So tell me a little bit about who you help.
Sure, Tammy. So I help current and former athletes. There are some athletes who are still playing who are entrepreneurs, or they have nonprofits, or they're philanthropists who are really interested in telling their story. Telling their story and sharing their experiences. You know, they have a fan base of people who've been following them since maybe high school or college, and they want to stay connected and they want to have an impact. And so I'm a former athlete, as you mentioned, and it's really important that athletes use that influence that they have in the community to be able to impact people. And so I work specifically with athletes.
So athletes, they are a very unique breed, and often they have very unique stories to tell. So how do you help athletes transition from being, out in the limelight to being the entrepreneur or whoever they are to become?
Sure. There are a couple of different ways. Many athletes are always asked to speak to different groups to inspire kids or to inspire business leaders. You know, there's the connection between sports and business. And so the way that I help athletes is through podcasting, through publishing books, through public speaking engagements, and then actually helping them put on their own events. Oftentimes, athletes are asked to come and speak at someone else's event, but there are some athletes who really want to create their own brand and be able to share their experiences, and they have other insights outside of sports. And so I help them create that.
So you've written some books. What was the book that you wrote all about?
The book that I wrote is called The Gamechanging Assists: 6 Simple Ways to Choose Success. And there's a workbook that goes along with it. And the Gamechanging Assists outlines a way for youth to take control of their life and to really understand that the choices they make matter. And so they're challenged to choose their vision for their life, choose the voices that they listen to, choose their response to the valley, and so forth. And it's been an extremely powerful book for kids who've read it. And there are more athletes who have that same passion and want to share their stories as well.
So you're actually helping these professional athletes or former athletes create a platform using books, and you have the personal experience, so you know how to create a book that will help them. How do you work with them to help them get their story out, or to build that story? Do you have a process?
Absolutely. So we have an interview process that I take them through. I've been trained in question asking and facilitating conversations. So I have a way that I'm able to get to the heart of the questions, and we help them outline the book from the beginning of ideation of what their book idea is about. I help them secure their target market and really hone down on who they're trying to reach. And then from there, we have an interview process and all the way through to the publishing process, through book cover creation, editing of the book. We work with them to make sure that it's a book that they're proud of prior to publishing, and then help them throughout the entire process. And then the backside of it is, well, promoting it. And so there's press releases that go out to the media, and then we're able to help create some marketing materials as well.
So if you were to give like advice to an athlete who's interested and they want to get started, what do you think is a big misconception that an athlete has about getting their story out, life after being a superstar or, being in a professional athlete position? What do you think their biggest obstacle to getting their authentic stories out is?
Part of the misconception of getting their authentic story out is that people will always know where to find them and how to find them, because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of athletes who are coming behind them, and technology is constantly changing. And so one of the misconceptions is that they don't have to do much to stay relevant, when in fact there's a lot of work to stay relevant, and helping them tell their stories is a way that they can maintain that relevancy and creating events and being visible.
So do you think that an athlete who wants to get found after the fact, I think I really agree, because not only are athletes people who they have to remain relevant, and you're absolutely right. I mean, our world is moving so fast, and you have to be able to be seen in the real world, and then also have this virtual world presence. Have you found that when you wrote your book and went out speaking, that being a published author, did that help you when you went out into the world to speak?
Oh, Tammy, it helped tremendously on a couple different fronts. The first is, one of the challenges with athletes is transitioning from sport. And when you become a published author, it gives you a new sense of identity, and you're able to view yourself differently, and others view you differently. The other thing is that you're able to get more credibility as well when you speak, and then your words last beyond that moment of speaking. So your book is able to reach people all across the world. I will never forget, there was a post on Facebook where this young lady in Singapore had purchased the book. And, initially when I published, I didn't think that it was going to reach a kid in Singapore, a little girl who played basketball in Singapore, and it blew me away. And she was smiling, and it was pretty powerful. So I really want other athletes to have that same experience as well.
So what you're saying is, not only is a book good for touching people in the United States and getting speaking engagements, but a book helps you to reach out around the world. And even some little girl in Singapore, she got the book and it changed your life. So you're able to change people's lives by putting it into a book format. I really think that's really important. And I really like the concept. Well, we're here doing a radio podcast, so obviously I really like the concept of radio podcasts, because people can hear your voice and they get a real sense of who you are from how you talk about what you do. So let's go ahead and let everybody know where they can find more information about you.
To find more information, you can go to AngelaRLewis.com. You can tune in to the Athletes as Educators podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can follow me on Instagram at AthletesEducate and on Twitter at AthletesEducate.
Perfect. Angela, I really, really appreciate you sharing all of this information with us today. And I am looking forward to having you back another time as you grow your Athletes Educate platform. Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.